Hello, everyone. Welcome to video 5 of two-way ANOVA, where we're going through hypothetical result C. Right, so video 4 went through hypothetical result B, now we're on C. So here we have, again, hypothetical result C, and we're going to go through the same process that we did for A and C. So first, we're going to take a look at the main effects first, and we do that by calculating the marginal means. Again, assuming that we have equal numbers of people in each of our independent groups here, we are going to calculate simple averages. Right, so we'll start with the main effect of gender. And so we need a marginal mean for women and a marginal mean for men. And so for women here, collapsing across frustration, averaging across frustration, we have 1 plus 1 divided by 2 will be 1. And then for men, 1 plus 9 divided by 2 is 5. Right. So here we see that we have a significant main effect of gender. We have a gender difference averaging across the levels of frustration here, in which men are exhibiting greater aggression than women. And so we'll calculate the marginal means for the levels of frustration here. So low will be 1 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 1, and then 1 plus 9 divided by 2, which will be 5. So we also have a significant main effect of frustration, such that participants are exhibiting greater aggression under high versus low frustration. Now, moving on to the interaction and the simple effects. We're going to first plot the cell means. And so when we plot the cell means here, our line graph should look something like this. And again, the more parallel the lines are, the less chance of there being an interaction. Right? But here, like hypothetical result B, the lines are not parallel at all, which suggests that there should be an interaction. So we'll see if the gender difference that we're finding overall, we'll see if that replicates under low and high frustration. And then the difference between the low and high frustration conditions here, we'll see if that replicates for both women and men. So here we're looking at the effect of gender at each level of frustration. So we're looking to see if there are gender differences under low versus high frustration. So if we look under low frustration here, right, men and women are both have a mean aggression score of 1, right? So there's no gender difference under low frustration. So the simple effect of gender is non-significant under low frustration. But if we look under high frustration here, we do see a gender difference in which men are exhibiting greater aggression than women. So the simple effect of gender is significant under high frustration, but not low. Right? Men are exhibiting greater aggression, but, right, there's always a big but this is only true under high frustration. So now let's look at the effect of frustration, the simple effect of frustration for women versus men. So is there a difference between high and low frustration for women versus men? And so if we look at women here, right, they have a mean score of 1 for both low and high frustration. So frustration did not affect women's aggression at all here, right? So the simple effect of frustration is non-significant for women. But if we look at men here, frustration did have an effect on men. So men exhibited greater aggression under high frustration versus low frustration. So the simple effect of frustration is significant for men, but not for women. So again, we have a big but. Participants did exhibit a greater aggression under high versus low frustration, right? But this was only true for men. So if we fill out the 9 questions that we have here, is there a main effect? Is there a main effect of frustration? Yes, there was, right? Participants uh, averaging across gender, participants did exhibit greater aggression under high versus low frustration. There also was a significant main effect of gender, in which averaging across the levels of frustration, men did exhibit greater aggression than women. There definitely looked like there was an interaction based upon the line graph, right? And 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 will tell us the source of that interaction. So, is the simple effect of frustration significant for women? So, was there differences in aggression under high versus low frustration for women? As we saw, no, right? The simple effect of frustration was non-significant for women. There's no difference in aggression between low and high frustration levels for women, but there was, uh, for men. Men exhibited greater aggression under high versus low frustration, while for women, frustration had no effect on women's level of aggression. So, is the simple effect of gender significant for those under high versus low frustration? So, is there a gender difference in the high frustration condition versus the low frustration condition? So, if we go back here, da, 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 right? So, there was no gender difference under low frustration, but there was a gender difference under high frustration. So, the simple effect of gender was significant under low frustration, but not under high. So here is simple effect of gender significant for those in the high frustration condition? Yes. But the simple effect of gender was non-significant, was not significant for those in the low frustration condition. There was a gender difference in high frustration, but there was no gender difference in the low frustration condition. So we have different answers for 6 and 7 and different answers for 8 and 9. So the source of the interaction is both coming from the set of simple effects for 6 and 7, the simple effect of frustration. The simple effect of frustration is different or changes for women versus men. But the source of the interaction also lies in 8 and 9 because the simple effect of gender is different under high versus low frustration. So overall, we can say under low versus high frustration, men and women did not differ in aggression, but high frustration only increased aggression for men while women's stayed the same. Right? So we have a big but here. Big but. All right, so that was hypothetical result C. In the next video, we'll do hypothetical result D.